You always did underestimate the will of the Force, Sidious. You thought you could shape it, bend it, mold it to your own design, as if it were nothing more than a tool for your ambition. You believed the Force was something to be controlled, something to be owned, but it was never yours to command. It was never something you could truly possess. You spent your life convincing yourself that your power was greater than its will, that the darkness you wielded could smother the light forever. And yet, here we are. The Force moves without your permission. It shifts beyond your reach, beyond your understanding. You tried to break it, to warp it into something unnatural, but the Force is not yours to keep. It has waited, patient, watching, guiding, until the moment it would strike against you. And now, that moment has come.
Impossible. The Force may allow its dead to linger as whispers, as feeble echoes in the void, but this is nothing but a trick, a distortion, an illusion conjured by the weak. You are gone, Skywalker. You burned away long ago, your body shattered, your soul consumed by the flames of Mustafar. You do not belong in this world, not anymore. And yet here you stand, clinging to something that no longer wants you. Do you believe yourself my equal? A specter with no power, no form, no influence over the future. Tell me, Skywalker, do you believe this charade will change anything? Do you think your presence here will sway what is already set in motion? That you will plant some seed of doubt, some fear in me? You have miscalculated, as you always did. You are nothing but a shadow.
Number, I did not come to haunt you. I did not come to beg, to plead, or to bargain. I came to tell you what you already know. The truth that lingers in the shadows of your mind. The truth you refuse to face. That your empire is crumbling, piece by piece. That the order you built, the power you secured, the control you forced upon the galaxy, it is weakening. That your apprentice, your enforcer, your so-called creation, he is wavering. And that the chains you placed upon me, the chains that bound me to your will, the chains that turned me into Vader, they are breaking, just as they will for him.
Ah, Skywalker, or whatever remnants remain of him. A ghost clinging to a life that was stripped from him, to a power that has long since abandoned him. How pitiful, how predictable. The great Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi's chosen one, reduced to nothing more than a flicker of dying light, standing before me as if it matters. You spent your life running toward destiny, believing yourself special, believing the Force had some grand plan for you. And yet, where did that bring you? To me. And I reshaped you into something far greater than you ever could have been on your own. Tell me, Ghost, why have you come? To haunt me? To warn me? To beg? Is that what this is? An attempt to plead for the soul of my apprentice? For the life of your son? You think words, whispered from the grave, will make a difference? You think I will fear you? No, Skywalker. I am the one who is feared.
And yet, here I stand, in your throne room, in your sanctuary, the very heart of your dominion, where no enemy was ever meant to set foot. But I am here, Sidious, and you feel me, not as a whisper, not as a mere shadow of a dead Jedi, but as something more. You feel the truth pressing against you, creeping in at the edges, unraveling the illusion you have built around yourself. You tell yourself that you have silenced me, that you have erased Anakin Skywalker from existence. But you haven't. You never could. The more you deny it, the more it lingers. The more you fight it, the stronger it becomes. You have spent years trying to suppress what you do not understand, what you fear. And now the Force moves beyond you, outside of your grasp. And for the first time, you are afraid.
You speak as if you are certain of this, as if you believe fate itself has turned against me, that the tides have shifted, that the will of the Force has doomed me. How foolish, how Jedi of you. But tell me, Anakin, where was fate when you fell to your knees before me, begging for the power to save what you could not? Where was fate when your flesh burned away, when your screams echoed across the fires of Mustafar, when you lay broken and helpless at Kenobi's feet? Where was fate when I lifted you from the ashes, when I rebuilt you, when I forged you into something more? You were weak then. You pleaded for my guidance, for my strength, for my wisdom. You chose to cast aside your past, to embrace what only I could give you. And now you stand before me, a mere ghost, and you think that makes you stronger. You think you have power over me now? No, Skywalker. You hold nothing here. Not power, not presence, not influence. You are less than the man I once shaped. You are less than nothing.
Not me. Him.
I do not fear you. You are a relic, a whisper, a memory that holds no weight in the galaxy I have built. You are a dying ember of an order that no longer exists, a name that means nothing to those who now kneel before me. What do you believe you can accomplish here? You do not exist, not in the way that matters. The Jedi, the Republic, your dreams of balance, they are gone. You cannot harm me. You cannot stop me. You cannot even touch me. And yet you linger, like a parasite that does not realize it has already been cut from the body. But tell me, Anakin, does the Force whisper to you in the abyss? Does it mock you as it mocked all the Jedi before you? I do not fear you. It is you who fears me.
You feel it, don't you? The pull. The unraveling of everything you have built. The fragile structure of your empire. The lie you have told yourself. The control you thought was unshakable. You have seen it in him, haven't you? My son. You watched him, tested him, feared him, even as you sought to mold him in your image. You felt it in him, the way the Force moves through him, the way it sings to him, just as it once called to me. And it terrifies you, because you know now what you refused to see before. He is strong, stronger than you expected, stronger than you feared. And now, deep within that twisted mind of yours, you wonder. You wonder if you have miscalculated, if perhaps this time you have underestimated the light.
I have broken stronger. I have bent entire civilizations to my will, crushed systems beneath my grasp, burned fleets into cinders with nothing but a command. I have torn apart empires that stood for millennia, reduced Jedi masters to dust with nothing but the power of my voice. You think you, a shattered remnant of a failed past, will change what is already written, that I will be undone by the same boy who only now begins to grasp what it means to wield the Force. Number, I have seen warriors far greater than your son, men of power who sought to rise against me, and I have destroyed them all. I have left nothing in my wake but silence and submission, and if Luke Skywalker dares to stand against me, he will fall like all the rest. He will burn as you burned. He will kneel as you kneeled. And if he refuses, then he will die. And I will watch as the light finally fades from the galaxy, never to return.
No, you haven't. Because you never truly broke me, Sidious. You never could. You did not create Darth Vader. You did not forge him in your fire. I was never truly yours. You twisted me, bent me, manipulated me, made me into something I was never meant to be. But the pieces of Anakin Skywalker, they never left. They were buried, yes. Buried beneath rage, beneath grief, beneath the weight of my own sins. But they remained. And now, they rise. And those same pieces, they exist in him. You see it, even if you will not admit it. You see it when he looks at you, when he stands before you. You see the fire in him, the same fire that once burned in me. The same will, the same destiny. And you know, deep down, in the place even you cannot silence, that he will never be yours. You will never truly break him, because you never truly broke me.
Do I? Do I know how this ends, Skywalker? Is that what you believe? That I am bound to some prophecy, to some fate woven by the Jedi's dead hands? Number, I have seen too many fools think they understood the future. I have watched those who claim to be destined fall before my feet, reduced to nothing but fading screams. But perhaps you have shown me something of value after all.
You know how this ends. Yes. Because you have seen it before. You have lived it before. You saw it in me, the moment I turned against you, the moment I gave myself to your power. And now, you see it again, playing out before you, repeating itself. But this time, you are not the one in control. You are losing. You lost me, and you will lose him.
No one left at all.
He is your downfall.
Something happened, didn't it? I can feel it in the air, in the way the Force moves around us. It's different. You're different. I may not understand it fully. I may not be able to explain it, but I know it. Something shifted. Something changed. You're trying to ignore it, trying to push it down, but I can feel the conflict in you. It's like a ripple in still water. It spreads, whether you want it to or not.
What are you talking about, boy? I did not summon you here for riddles. If you have something to say, then say it. But do not waste my time with foolish speculation. Your fate is already sealed, and nothing you believe, nothing you hope, will change what is to come.
I felt something. It wasn't just you. It wasn't just me. It was something more. It was him. It wasn't a dream, and it wasn't my imagination. It wasn't just a feeling. It was real. I don't know how, but I could sense him in the Force, like a voice just beyond my reach, like an echo of something that was never truly lost. It was Anakin.
You are mistaken. Your senses deceive you, Skywalker. The Force is vast, full of echoes, distortions, remnants of the past that mean nothing. You are grasping at shadows, desperate to see what is not there. This fixation on what is already lost will only make your fall inevitable.
Or I'm not mistaken. You want me to be. Because if I'm right, then that means something you don't want to face. But I can feel it. I know what I felt. I know he was here.
Your mind is clouded by hope, Skywalker. That name, the man you so stubbornly cling to, is gone. You cannot bring back what has been destroyed. You cannot undo what has already been done. Whatever it is that you think you felt, it was nothing. A figment, a fading echo, a trick born from your own desperation. You want to believe there is still something left, but belief does not change reality. You are chasing ghosts, and ghosts do not return.
I don't know how, and I don't know why, but I know. He was here. Not in the way we're used to, not as flesh and blood, Not as the man you once were, but as something else. Something beyond what either of us can truly comprehend. But that doesn't change the fact that he was close. So close that I could feel him in the Force, like a whisper just beneath the surface, like a presence that refuses to fade away, a memory that is not just remembered, but alive.
Then you are a fool. A blind, naive fool who does not understand the depths of what has been lost. You think you see something in me, something left. But you see only what you want to see. There is nothing there, Skywalker. There is no past, no weakness, no lingering presence waiting to be reclaimed. I have made my choice. I have embraced what I am, and nothing you say will change that.
And you felt it too. I know you did. You can lie to yourself. You can tell yourself that it was nothing, that it was a mistake. But you can't lie to me. Not here. Not now. I can see it in you, even if you refuse to admit it.
Anakin Skywalker is dead. He was weak. He was foolish. He was blind, just as you are now. He trusted in those who betrayed him, in a love that failed him, in a cause that never deserved him. And so he fell. He burned. And with him, every part of the man you so desperately seek to find. He does not exist. He does not live within me. He is not waiting, lurking in the shadows, hoping to be saved. He is dead. And the sooner you accept that, the less pain you will bring upon yourself.
I don't believe that.
You will be brought before the Emperor soon. And all of this, your hope, your delusions, your belief that you can save me.
I know you felt it. I know you heard him. The same way I did. He's still there, Father. Maybe not in the way you remember him. Maybe not even in the way I understand. But he is not gone. You know it. You feel it just as much as I do. And no matter how much you try to deny it, no matter how much you try to bury it beneath anger, beneath fear, beneath the dark side, it's still there. He's still there.
Will mean nothing. He will show you the truth.
Then, after you bring me before him, after you stand by his side and watch him try to destroy me, will you let him? Will you stand there, knowing what I know, feeling what I feel, knowing that he is afraid of you, just as much as he is afraid of me?
He will break you as he broke the Jedi, and then you will understand.
Maybe I am a fool. Or maybe you are the one who is afraid.
Then you will see the truth.
I already have.
You felt it, didn't you? That ripple in the Force, that shadow slipping through the cracks of your mind, that thing that should not be. You have spent years telling yourself he was gone, that he was dead, that you buried him beneath the weight of the dark side, beneath my teachings, beneath your own rage. But the Force does not forget so easily, does it? And neither do you. It reached for you, called to you, like an ember refusing to be snuffed out, like a whisper clawing its way from the abyss you swore no longer existed. And in that moment, in that single moment, you hesitated. You felt it. And that concerns me.
I do not know what you speak of, my master. Whatever disturbance you claim to have felt is nothing but a fleeting ripple in the vastness of the Force, a distortion of the past that holds no bearing on the present. If the dead wish to linger as shadows, as whispers lost to time, then let them. It changes nothing. I have not faltered. I have not broken. I stand before you as I always have, unshaken. If there is a disturbance in the Force, it is of no consequence. The Jedi are gone. Their legacy is dust. Their spirits may claw at the edges of existence, desperate to be remembered, but they hold no power here, and neither does he.
Do not lie to me, Lord Vader. Do not insult me with your silence, with your empty attempts at deception. I know what you felt. I have always known. Did you think you could hide this from me? That I would not see the disturbance in the Force, the shift in its current, the echo of something long since eradicated? You felt it because it was there. The disturbance, the presence that should not exist. The ghost that dares to whisper in the shadows of your mind, slithering through the walls you built to keep him out, slipping through the cracks you refuse to acknowledge. He is not supposed to exist, Vader. And yet, here we are. Explain that to me.
Anakin Skywalker is dead. He was weak. He was lost in his own delusions, bound by foolish ideals, chained to emotions that made him vulnerable. He trusted blindly. He loved blindly, and he suffered for it. He allowed himself to be deceived, manipulated, used, and in the end, he fell. He did not have the strength to survive what had to be done. He hesitated, and for that, he was erased. Do not speak his name as if he is something more than a grave long since abandoned. There is no Skywalker, there is only Vader. And Vader does not look back. Vader does not hesitate.
Anakin Skywalker. Is he? Is he truly dead? You say it with such certainty, with such finality. Yet here you stand, breathing the same air as I do, knowing exactly what you felt, and yet denying it. But denial will not save you, Lord Vader. I do not deal in wishful thinking. I do not deal in fantasies. There is only reality, and reality is that the Jedi you killed, the name you cast away, the past you claim to have destroyed, it is reaching for you. And the question is not whether you can silence it. The question is why it has not already faded.
I do not hesitate, my master. I have never hesitated. Not when I burned away my past. Not when I crushed the Jedi beneath my heel. Not when I reforged myself into something stronger, something greater. You speak of ghosts as if they can unmake what I have become. But the past does not bind me. It does not touch me. The will of the dark side is all that remains. The weakness that once held me back is gone. Whatever presence you claim to have felt is nothing but an echo, a remnant of a man long since destroyed. It holds no meaning. It holds no power. I do not falter. I do not waver. I am as I have always been. I am your apprentice. I am your enforcer. I am Vader.
Do not think me blind, my apprentice. Do not think for even a moment that I do not see what lies beneath that mask, that I do not hear the weight of your silence, that I do not feel the crack forming in the foundation of everything we have built. The Force does not deceive me. The Force does not lie. I felt him. I felt his presence like a shadow passing through fire, like a scar that has not yet healed. And I know that you felt him too. I do not need to ask. I can see it in you.
I will bring him before you, my master. I will not fail in this task. The boy is strong, but he is naive. He still clings to the false hope that the Jedi can rise again, that their teachings still hold meaning. He believes he can stand against us, that he is ready, but he is not. He is nothing without guidance, without power, without control. He will not resist us for long. I will bring him to you. I will break the illusions he clings to. I will strip away the weakness that blinds him. And when he kneels before you, when he sees the truth of what he is meant to become, he will know there is no other path. He will know that the light is dead.
You hesitate. Why? What is it you fear, Lord Vader? What is it that makes your hands tremble, even if only for a moment? Do not tell me it is nothing. Do not insult me with falsehoods, with denials. I have felt the weight of the Force pressing against you, gnawing at the edges of your mind, And I know the truth, even if you refuse to say it aloud. You have not let go of him. He is still there, somewhere deep inside you, buried beneath the rage, beneath the armor, beneath the weight of the dark side. But tell me, Lord Vader, how long do you think you can keep him buried?
He will not refuse us. The boy believes himself strong, but he is untrained, unrefined. He has power, but he does not understand it. He believes in mercy, in redemption, in the same foolish ideals that doomed the Jedi before him. And that is why he will fall. That is why he will kneel. Because he must. Because there is no alternative. And yet, you fear him. You have seen something in him, something that troubles you. He is more than you anticipated, more than we anticipated. And that is why you wish to strike now, before he can become something beyond your reach. But I tell you, my master, he will bend, he will serve. And when he does, he will be ours. There will be no need for destruction. He will submit. And if he does not, then I will do what must be done.
Then why does he still linger? Why does the Jedi refuse to fade? Why does he reach through the veil of the Force when he should have long been forgotten? I will tell you why. Because you have not let him go. Because despite all your power, despite all your devotion, despite all your rage, you still fear the truth. And the truth is this: he is not done with you. He has not let you go either. And that should terrify you more than anything, my apprentice. This cannot be allowed. I will not tolerate it. I have spent too long shaping you, perfecting you, forging you into something greater than what you once were. I will not see that undone by the whisper of a ghost. There will be no more warnings, no more chances, no more indulgence. The time for uncertainty is over. The boy arrives soon. And when he does, I expect you to do what must be done. And when the time comes, you will end this foolishness. You will break him. You will shatter every illusion he still clings to, every hope he carries, every ounce of resistance that still lingers in his heart. You will show him the true nature of the dark side. You will remind him why the Jedi are dead. You will see that he submits, or you will destroy him where he stands. See that he doesn't. And Lord Vader, if I sense the same weakness in you that I sense tonight, if I so much as feel the whisper of Anakin Skywalker within you again, I will erase him.